Welcome to Leadership Energetics. I'm so excited to see you again. And I'm really, fully, completely excited for today's video. Because I've been reading this book from Simon Sinek. I hope that's how you say it. Anyways, it's called Leaders Eat Last. I bought it when I was on the way to the US. I was going to this event, a business event, and I bought it on the way in the airport. I saw it and I love the cover, I love the gold, and I was like, okay, this is about leadership. I'm going to an event about leadership, so this is ideal. I didn't read much of it back then, but I am reading it now. And the amazing thing about this book that I found is that it says here something that's completely changed the way that I see business. It's something that I knew. You know, like when you know something, but you don't know that you know that. So essentially, I knew this, but I didn't fully comprehend the abstraction and what that meant. I was seeing the business world and leadership world through the lens of a system, hierarchy, and through a lens of like systems. And I think I was so stuck on the way that I was taught from a child, which is that authoritative style, which I love, and I think there's a place and time. But I think what this has helped me see from an outside perspective is what business truly is and what it is actually for and why it was created. And just go get it. When I communicate this to you, you're going to fully get what I'm trying to say, because it really fully makes so much more sense now that I finally see leadership through this lens. So I'm going to read you a phrase of this book. It's such an amazing book. Recommend. And then I'm going to talk about it. So it says here, a leader can, however, offer their time. Okay, let me go from the beginning. A leader of an organization can't simply pay their managers to look out for those in their report. So it doesn't matter how much benefit or how much more money and salary they give them. A leader can, however, offer their time and energy to those in their care. And in turn, those managers will be more willing to give their time and energy to their subordinates than their subordinate would, in turn, be more inclined to give time and energy to their direct reports. So it's kind of like the senior manager, the middle manager, and then the supervisor. So it's kind of like the more that the top managers give more of their time and energy, the more the other ones are willing to do the same, going down the hierarchy in a system. And the subordinate, in turn, would be more inclined to give their time and energy to their direct reports. And at the end of the chain, the people with outward-facing jobs are more likely to treat their customers better. So it's just like the overall, it's like a loop. So you treat the customers better, they keep coming back, there's more money for the senior leader. So essentially, it's like teaching that it's all about an energy game, which I talk about this all the time. And this is what I mean. You know, I knew this, but I knew it from a different perspective. So I knew this information, but I didn't know it in this perspective until now I've got a bigger picture. So it makes a lot more sense. But like I said, it's all an energy game. Business, leadership, sales. It's not about what you do, it's how you do it. People make their decisions based on their emotions, their feelings. So when you master this and you get it, the world opens up for you. Opportunities and doors open up for you. So it's an energy game. It's an energy game. So what does that mean? So it means like you need to understand how to invest your energy so that you can get a return on it. And understand that money is just a symbol created in order for us not to need to barter anymore. And what is barter is when you tell someone, I have something you need and you have something I need. Maybe you can give me apples, I can give you pears. So that's a bartering. It's a swapping of services. It's a swapping of energy. It's an energy exchange. So it's about understanding that I barter with people to this day. I don't only make business through money, but when I barter, I'm not so focused on the money, so I'm more focused on the person that I'm selling. But that made me realize something huge that you're gonna love to realize too. When I am selling to someone a service, and I'm not thinking of money, for some reason, and I think this will probably be the same for you, I'm not so focused on the outcome, as in like the money or the amount of money I'm gonna make, which then can motivate me to not look at the red flag so much. I'm more focused on the experience I'm going to have, the quality of the experience, and one more important thing, the relationship and the connection I have with the individual, so I know whether I want to barter with them or not. And if we started looking at sales and leadership as that instead of as an output, an outcome, instead of looking at it as a process and actually caring for the process, which means for yourself, your own boundaries, your own limits, your own emotion, the state you're in when you're having that process. Because I care much more when it's barter, because I understand that there's not the motive of money. The only motive is the actual experience itself. But if you start looking at experiences that are motivated by money also as the only motive as the experience itself, you're going to make more money, better connections, and your leadership will improve. This is powerful stuff, for real. Take a moment to sink it in, maybe rewatch it. So let me continue reading the paragraph that I love from this book that completely changed my paradigm for the better. Be more inclined to give energy to their direct reports. So at the end of the chain, the people with the outward-facing jobs are more likely to treat the customers better. It is just biology. The oxytocin and serotonin makes us feel good. When time and energy are given to us, which inspires us to give more of ourselves to others. So it's just a ripple effect in a community. So what is a community? Okay, we'll go into that, into the other bit of this book, which says business is a human enterprise. It may even be what we call a business, a company, right? So a community is a group of people because it's a collective of people in the company of other people. It's a company. It's in a collection of people in the company of other people. It's a company that matters, right? They say it's not the destination, it's not the journey that matters. Then they say it's the journey that matters, but then there's another one that says it's not even the journey that matters, it's the company. So, and then we have businesses and company, which then allow you to get to the destination. And what is leadership? Getting people and yourself from point A to point B. And then I could end this video here. Now you know what leadership is, like nobody else. Because most people don't understand the depth of what leadership truly is in the simplified way of thinking. They just think it's telling people what to do. They just think sometimes it's just being in control, or it's just being a control freak. Or sometimes people think leadership is just about, telling somebody power dynamics, or somebody who is just bossy. Like, it's none of those things. The bossiness and telling people what to do is just a skill, a tool that leaders use to get somebody from point A to point B. But it's not what leadership is. So, when you understand that leadership is so much bigger, it's actually creating a system that works. It's creating a system, an environment, so that the company, the people, a group of people, or just one-to-one can become who they need to become and reach their potential so that they can get the point A to point B, whatever the goal is. It's so beautiful. So, I'm passionate for leadership. This is why I do this. Okay, so that's it. That's all I wanted to read from this book for you. And now I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So, the reason I thought that was really mind-blowing to me is because when it comes to leadership, I always thought that it was something that was less human. I for some reason, I've had really good leaders in my life, really good bosses, and also not so good ones. But the ones that inspired me to go into this journey of leadership were obviously the ones that I loved, their leadership style. And those kinds of bosses, something that I really appreciated is that I always felt they cared for me. And I always felt they saw me from a human level. And I felt like they were on my team. Not because of them saying the right things, but it was just a feeling I felt. I felt like when they asked me how are you, they actually wanted to hear the answer. And it was their tone. It wasn't just them saying it in the right way, but then my intuition kicked off and was but something feels off. No, it was the tone. It was they genuinely cared because they had this perspective of leadership. Their perspective of leadership was the understanding that leadership is basically the most human thing there is. It's the most natural thing that exists in the human system, that has always existed and will always exist. Because when it comes to leadership, in a community of people, you are essentially the person who has the skill and the ability to go first, to move first, to direct. They do. And people want them to do so because it means that then they have the space to relax, to not focus their mental rent on those things and thoughts and worries. They can then get the leader to take responsibility for that. So leadership is the ability to respond for certain things that you're accountable for, whether that be people in your care, people that are in your charge, so that you can then take care of them. Because it is leadership, being a parent, so much the same. The more that I go, I'm not a mother, but the more that I go in this journey of leadership, I'm going to be serious with you. The more that I go in this journey of leadership, the more that I start to understand like what it means to be a mother, what it means to have a child. I start looking at parents, like I'm going down the park and I'm looking at them and I'm seeing it in such a huge different way. Like, what does that even mean? Why do they call it a guardian? Because a parent that's a guardian, listen, this is really going to help with leadership too, but a parent that's a guardian, they're guarding the kid because a kid doesn't know how to guard themselves. And what's a guard? If you look at jiu-jitsu and martial arts, when you have your guard up, you are able to defend and protect yourself. So that means you're able to filter the information that comes in, and also you have the consciousness to respond in a way where you're not so easily influenced by others because you have your guard up. So it's leadership is also about learning how to have your own guard up, how to know how to bring other people's guards down so that you can also create a space of connection and knowing when and when not to do so. And it's just, there's so much to learn about this leadership stuff, so definitely keep coming back to the episodes. I'm not going to go much deeper on this guard stuff because it's something that requires its own episode, maybe its own series, because it's so deep. But essentially it is all about having boundaries and limits and standards at a core, at an essence, the broader topic of what I'm talking about. Okay, so I had so much energy and so much excitement, I think you could tell, for this video today, because I know that this is going to change your life. I know it's changed my life. It's changed the way that I see leadership, the way that I approach people when I speak to them, when I'm leading them. It has made me be more compassionate. It has made me see the human that I'm speaking to more. And it has also helped me understand how to be a more charismatic leader that people actually desire and want to be led by. So definitely watch this video again. I definitely recommend. Also like the video, because when you do, I know you like it, and I make more videos like this. And subscribe, you know, the good stuff, so that you can be notified when I post new videos. And comment so I can actually get to know the people behind the camera and get to know you, right? You, so I can get to know you and speak to you and connect with you and build a relationship with you, because I want that. And also, if you want to work with me one-to-one, I have spaces. So for confidence coaching, leadership coaching, so we can go deeper and more specific to what you need in the topics that I'm talking about, then definitely DM me on Instagram. So that's ScarletHeartMedicine, the same name, written the same way as the name of the